eModels.co.uk. Make something awesome.
Shut up and sit down.
Hello again, gang. Colin here from Festa 67's workshop for part 3 of Star Wars AT-AT Cat-Cat by Bandai. Now, little recap. In part 1, we built the head. Woohoo! And in there are some rather nice little dudes. None of this has been primed yet because I wanted to get the kit sort of mocked up so I can have a look at it and figure out where I'm going to put me lighting and everything. And then last episode we did the legs. Okay, so by powers of deduction, in this episode we're going to be doing the body. And we're working our way through page 7 of said instructions, putting all of this little lot together, and we'll end up with this, okay? And then we'll have all our sub-assemblies ready to clip together as and when we choose to. Now, I've got to do a little bit of drillage, so I haven't decided yet where I'm going to be putting lights. Now, if I grab my pointy stick, I'm going to do warm LEDs. Now, I don't know whether to do one for each leg coming down and then one in the middle, so like 6 little warm LEDs, or whether that will be too much, because they're going on this piece here. Okay, so what I probably will do is get the base assembled as per this picture, have a look at it, line it up with the legs and see what I think as to where the placement of the lights go, because I don't want them sort of sticking out like a blind cobbler's thumb, but I also don't want them to be ineffective. So yeah, so we'll see how we're looking, and then like I say, all I've got to do then is just quickly nip back and then drill any holes that I need to do on that. The detail on this is really crisp. That's one thing I've noticed about Bandai kits. You know, all the panel lines and everything are beautifully recreated. Having done my original Cat-Cat based on an AMT Ertl kit of many moons ago, the difference is palpable, to be honest with you. You know, all of this little gubbins going on under here. Yeah, have you a bit of that, eh? Oh, sexy bit of machinage. Yeah. You know, and all of this stuff, you know, it's ripe for a bit extra detail. It's plant machine, you know, I might even be tempted to have big hydraulic hoses that are visible, even though a lot of stuff would probably be contained in the neck, going to his head and that. I'm thinking modern world, etc., there would be big hoses and all kinds of, yeah, gubbins. So I'm going to raid me Greebles box, see what I've got in there, and then if I'm happy with what I've got Greebles wise, then we'll start looking at planning that out. So I'm at that stage now. Let's get this section done so that I can see it. I'm going to glue some of it together, but I'm going to have some of it where I can actually slide it apart. So I won't glue this cover on. That'll be removable so that I can get back in and drill holes, and perhaps if there's a bit of circuitry in there I can, yeah, battery pack, or I don't know. It's all a steep learning curve for me, as it is for you guys. Like I know what I'm doing. Yeah. Right, Anyway, I'm rambling, so let's get a couple of bits glued together. So I'm going to have these just off shot so that they're not in the way. And we're after sprue B2, ka-chink, 24 and 25, which is them two. So let's get me better nippers going now, because yeah, we don't want to be using the cheap and nasties on a Bandai kit, do we? No. You know, these are a nice little set of nippers actually. I got these from our sponsor eModels.co.uk. Yeah. For this build, because I'd been using these and all well and good, but I broke me spring, and yeah, and I just thought, you know something, let's try and be a little bit more profesh and get some more decent equipment going. Now, be mindful with the old sanding sticks here. Now, I am brutal on these, I know I am, and you know, many a personal cringe, but it is a precision tool at the end of the day, so you know, treat it with a bit of respect and it'll look after you. So a little bit of light sanding going on, finger over the top of the sander. There's a good video online on how to use a sanding stick from Paul over at International Scale Modeler, so if you want to have a look at that, feel free. He's got some handy little hints there on how to get the most out of your sanders and that, and these are his sanders, and yeah, they do what they say on the tin at the end of the day. But like I say, I freely admit I am very heavy-handed with my sanders, and I sat and watched that and I learnt something different, and I'm going to be taking all of that on board. See, nice press fit, like so. Yeah, bang, straight in. Have you a bit of that? And then we want B1 by powers of deduction. Yeah, you got it. B1. Number 4, which is there. Like that. And number 3, which is the vent by the look of it. Have you some of that? And number 9. Da 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 da, which is that big old round thing there. Yeah, the big old round thing is the professional term for whatever that is on the AT-AT. There's probably Star Wars guys going, oh my god. Yeah, I did call it the big round thing. I'm sorry. Feel free to put a comment in as to what it actually is, but yeah. Like I'm gonna know. I'm only a poor little Festa. I know nothing. A little bit of dressing up on these bits. Like so. Just out of shot there, I've got a bit of plastic magic just for some of these smaller bits, just in case they go and try to make a hasty escape. There are a few of these little bits that I will just give a little bit of love to and just drop a little bit of glue in. Now you don't have to, but I'm choosing to on these purely because, you know, it's me at the end of the day, and if anyone's going to lose bits of this kit, I wonder who it's going to be. Yeah, you don't have to answer that one. We'll drop that in there and find that that pops straight in like so, and then do the same the other side with a little bit of plastic magic and drop that one in like so. That's better. Ignore my twitching, apologies. And then just a little bit down there on that piece. Like so. Hey, have you a little bit of that? Now I shall go round and get rid of some of the seams, so I'm going to slap a little bit of glue in here, knowing that I'm coming back at it another time with the sanding sticks. So I'll give that a little checkaroony as per. Front, put it there, forget about it for a minute, and then we carry on with the next parts, which are B2, 28 and 29 in there. And like I say, at this stage we are just literally making our own little sub-assemblies to get an idea of what the kit's gonna look like and how tall it's gonna stand and just how everything seems to fit together. And then you can then go in and do your fine tuning and your detail work, etc. Now, some of you may have noticed I've changed my camera angle this episode because I was disappearing in the corners where I was struggling to see what I'm doing. So I've made a change on my camera angle. Hopefully you like it and you can see a little bit more, but it just lets me bring stuff nearer to the camera as well, but I can then see it from my point of view as well, which was what the angle was before, but it was kind of, yeah, it was in my way and I was having to work around it and move out a shot, and yeah, so I've made a little change. Hopefully you don't mind, but it's all part of learning to keep the audience more able to see what I'm doing. So again, you know, thanks for all the lovely comments in the first 2 episodes and the views. It really is very humbling to know that people out there are enjoying what I'm trying to do. So thank you all for tuning in and giving me that support, because doing this is a challenge, you know. It is nerve-wracking, I say, because you want it to go as well as you can, but you want your viewers to feel that they're getting to know you as well, and that's kind of what I'm trying to do with these video series, is get to know you guys, get you to interact, you know, add a comment, ideas, anything, you know, suggestions on things, you know, or that idea might work, or have you thought of adding this piece, or have you thought of doing that, you know, and I like that. type of feedback. There you go. So check that that looks like that, which it does, albeit mine has a slightly cavernous Grand Canyon-esque seam in the side, but yeah, that'll go. So that's that. We're now going to be doing these pieces. Now bear in mind this will be drilled later on. Okay, so let's find number 20. God, there's such beautiful detail. Oh, yeah. And number 14 I do first, and then do number 15 after. So I'll leave 15 on the sprue for a moment. Just want to go around that with a sander. Right, so a little course on there, I think, just to remove a slightly more aggressive sander. Let's just close me drawer. There you go. Then I'll make sure I've got that round the right way. So we want the squarer edge at the front for that, and that's number 14, and that will go in there, along there, like that, just in that little groove. Okay, and that's dry fitted, so I'll show you the little groove it goes into. Let's get me pointy stickage. Just in there. Okay, and you've got your little rectangles cut in there. That's where you're going. So I'm going to put a little dab in there. Okay, and I think I'll put a little bit in there as well. Like that. And pop that and press it home. Look at that, in like flint. Get in. Chop that bit off. Did it? Give that a little dry fit first, just to make sure that that does what it says on the tin, which it does, and then repeat the same process. Boom, like that. And then we want 10 and 11 off of here. Like that. That's number 10. Number 11. Trying to follow the angles of the edges, and then we can just assemble the bits as we see fit. So let's have a look at what we've got and just make sure Yeah, that everything is going to work how we want it to. Like that. Would help if I was to get the bits in the right orientation, wouldn't it? Yeah, like so. Yeah, that's it. We're getting there. Like that. And then that bit will go in there like that. Okay, so we know they're going to go in the right place. So again, I'm gonna put in a bit of adhesive. Now they are a really firm, tight fit, so you don't have to do this. But yeah, this is going on a road trip to Stoke, so I don't want it falling apart, do I? Like that. And then the same in there. Like that. And then make sure it's firmly in place. Like so. Yeah. All that detail. And then we want number 2 off of there. Go around with your sander. Like that. And then do a nice little dry fit of that. And that's going to cover there. So I'm just going to put a little plastic magic on these pegs. Like that. And then push that down. Done. There you go. And then we're looking for number 29, which are all of these little pivot points for the legs. So we'll get them off, and they're all the same, these, so we can remove them all from the sprue, and then we can give them all a nice little bit of preparation for fitment. Like that. Yeah. And then use a finny stick for that, I think. That's better. Just a nice little circular motion there. Just knock that off. There's one. And that's all you're doing. It's just knocking off the nub. Use a slightly coarser grit on there. That's it. That went a bit nicer, didn't it? Yeah. There you go. Another one on there. And then use the smooth side just to smooth it over. we've now got 4 of those. So they can go in place. So we'll just put a little dab of the old plastic magic in there. Now, yeah, I think we'll leave them as per. Yeah. Like so. I'll put the other one in a minute. So I'll put a tiny dab of placky magic in there, and yeah, there you go. So we got them, like so. There you go, like that. Have you some of that? We can then drop up the front and rear jet assemblies, I think they are. Yeah, so they'll go in like that. Yeah. And then that one will go in there, so let's give that a bite. Like so. Yeah. Cool. And then we've got 26 and 27 on there, which looks like their stuff on the tail section of the cat. So, a little bit of plastic magic in there. Like that. And then that will go in there. See, so again, I won't glue that on yet because I can take all of this off to weather stuff and just give it a bit more oomph. That's the plan anyway. Yeah, get you in there and it just tapers down a tad. Yeah, it does. So yeah, that's what we want. Yeah, cool. And then A24, which is down there. Is where the head will join the body, and that just drops in the front of the cat like so, just like that. So that's what we want for that. Let's just rest that on there so that I can pick it up again. There you go. We've then got the 2 halves of the inner part of the body to put together. like that. Another piece. And then just go over any bits that you think may need dressing with the sander. But obviously some of this is inside the kit, so you won't see it. Don't need those. This one, let's get rid of them. And the same with these ones. Little dog ears or whatever you want to call them. Little bits of overmold or lovely. Then drop the two halves together. Like that. That won't need glue. And then we want B31. Which is the front shrouding that goes where the neck joins the body. Like that. Yeah, look at that. Oh yeah. And then the same with this piece, number 30. Little bit of placky magic on there, because I notice on the other one there is a bit of a seam. Like I say, we will be going around and getting rid of all the seams, so don't be surprised to see a lot more fettling than perhaps the majority of people that are doing this just as the snap build. But because this is going on display up at the eModels store, I kind of want it to have a degree of strength, but also it is a custom build for them, and it's going to have some additional parts on it and that, and yeah, I kind of just want to lose seams and things just to give it a little sense of uniqueness. So it now tells me to check that my piece looks like so, which it does. Yeah, happy days. So that's another bit finitoed. And then we get the large external casing of the body and remove that from its sprue. And these are undergated, these ones, so I'll cut right across the edge, knowing that the piece itself, yeah, is okay. Like that. Nice across the face there. Get rid of all the rubbish. And then we want pieces 22 and number 2. So 22 is that one. And B1, number 2, let's have a look. B1 and number 2 is that section there of vents by the look of them. Cool. And some of these sprues have got quite an interesting shape. So, greebles. Interesting sprue shapes. I tend to keep as greebles. You never know. It might come in handy. Now this piece goes up inside and is some of the circuitry and access panels and yeah, inner detail. So there's some tabs that I'm going to give a dose of the old Placky magic to, because I can, and I don't want it to fall out once it's built. Because once it's made, the last thing you want is that to go plop and fall inside. Yeah. So mine ain't going nowhere. Yeah. And then the vents as well, I'll give them a little sand. Up the way there. Oh. Like that. And again I'm going to put a little bit of glue in on mine just to make it a permanent bond. There you go. Like that. Yeah. And it then is basically saying you slide that on there like so and click it in place. There's a little tab down there that comes out through this rectangle, and it's that tab there, comes out of there like that. Okay, well I'm going to be keeping mine separate and not glued, so yeah, when I come to do some bits and pieces on that I can get in and have my circuits accessible, probably just by separating the two halves, if I'm honest. I can lift that whole unit off, access my circuit board in there, and then drop that back on. So ways of making that an easier fit for the guys at eModels, so that if they want to change a battery they can lift it off, or I could put the battery and everything all in the base of the diode. But seeing that now lets me start looking at it and figuring out where lighting and shadows and all of that will work with legs in place. So the legs gonna sort of sit in around that area. So as you can see, I've got a area up there where I can lose lights. So I think I'll go with one for each leg, about here, bosh. And see that big hole there? I reckon just put a single bulb right in the middle of that then shines a light down onto the deck. So that'll be a white LED, and I think I'll do these ones as warm yellow in there. And then what that'll do is that'll shoot warm light down each leg, just enough to cast a shadow on it, but also a little bit of interest where people go, what's going on up under there then? And they'll come in and they'll nose and they'll see, and then they'll think, oh, that's different. Oh, look, there's hoses and gubbins, and yeah. So this is the planning stage. And then obviously paint, I've got, in case people want to know, I've got some Model Air 71002 medium yellow. We're then going to have a black paint. I've then got a bit of the old Portland stone, 71288 Model Air. That's for the diorama, quarry base, and some sort of detritus around the legs. I've got a nice Vallejo Mecha weathering one here, which is brown engine soot matte, and that's 69818 colour. The first point of call is to shoot some UMP primer over everything. Let that go off. Probably do a coat, 2 coats probably of that. And yeah, start sort of deciphering now different things for the legs, different effects, because obviously there's going to be a bit of chipping going on and some dry brushing and shadow work and all of that. But we've got on here, these will be black, these discs for his eyes, this section here, that'll be black. Bit of shadowing under here, bit of grime, bit of detritus, black. Do the neck in rubber black, this concertina part, but do these in like a gunmetal stroke dry brushed edges and detail. Might even bung some more hydraulic hoses across, so it looks like it's had a rather bodged infield repair where they couldn't be bothered to go in and line the hose there. They've gone, it'll be quicker just to shove one on the outside, and yeah, probably have some hydraulics coming out of these panels, some hoses just coming round, bit like a JCB digger. You know when you see a JCB digger around the joint, it's got like a loop of hose and stuff like that. Sounded like the Ronnies then, didn't I? Big hose, 4 candles. So I'll do that on all 4 legs, and then obviously have an hose coming up that will then go up underneath the belly and in to the mechanics. And then on this, I'm going to scratch build like a deck that will come out across, and probably have it come out as well, like some kind of viewing platform that will be supported on legs or RSJs that come up out of here. Two dirty, great big exhaust pipes that are all rusted up where the diesel fumes and that escape. So we'll have all of that. Bit of hosage going on round the back end of his Harris there, just to give that a bit of interest. So yeah, and also you've got a door here that goes in. Where is it? There you go. See, now that closes off and hides all of that lot. And I'm wondering whether to have that lowered so it sticks out sort of like so, with a bit of cableage going on, with some railings and shizzle, and you know, people walk along there and have a play with them. Might have a bod there, set of stairs going up. Change these two middle ones into a shutter, like, you know, one of the shutter doors or a concertina door. So you got a droppable floor, zunky, whatever you want to do. He can then do his business and play with whatever buttons he wants to on here, and then he thinks, I know, I'm going to go upstairs and have a play. So he comes along, shimmies up the old staircase in front of the shutter door here, which opens onto a little gantry here, so he can go have some of that along, have some of that, and up to the top deck, have a mooch around. I've got an old transit van dashboard. Cheers, Davey, for sending me that. And I'm going to chop this all down. And this is going to become like a computer terminal that will sit up on the roof. You know, you'll have a geezer there going, yeah, I can see what I'm doing. Or at the front somewhere like that, you know, have you a bit of that. So he can be doing his thing. A few other bods up there. And yeah, you know what I mean. So that's all going to be coming up in the next episode, where we start a bit of scratch building. I'm going to prime it with a bit of UMP. Now, I don't know whether you guys want to see how I spray or anything like that, but what I'll probably do is just do a little time lapse or something. You know, I'll set my booth up, go through what I use, how I use it, etc, 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 and then shoot the primer, let that dry off, and whilst that's drying off we can do a bit of planning. Got custom decals as well, so if you haven't made your own decals before, I can teach you how to do that. Bit of image editing software, show you how I lay the images out, show you how I scale them, the size, so that what you see on screen as a picture, you know when you print it out it's going to fit what you're holding in your hand, because there's nothing worse than you printing out a door that you think's going to be that big and it comes out about that big, because that's about as much use as an handbrake on a canoe. So I'll show you how to do that and see how we all get on. So I'm going to leave it there, put my glue away, but we're now at that point where we can do a bit of, because there's a bloke called Fox who's sitting there like a child in a sweet shop at the moment, because he knows what this is going to be and he's getting all excited. But as you can see, it's going to have some interesting bits. So that's where we are. I'm happy with how it's coming on. I can leave it now. I can go away and have a little think about how we're going to light it. I think we've pretty much now decided one for each leg and one in the middle, so I'm happy with that. I'm going to light inside his noggin, inside his canister there, so there'll be a red beam coming out. Still not decided on what to do with the lasers, whether to put them in or not. Really need to give that a bit of thought. But for now, that is the body assembled of the Bandai 8C8C. So all we have left to do on her now is the side panels for the legs. Now these have got the pistons in different places if you look at the pictures. So you've got options of where the mechanisms are on each leg. And then after that, it's just joining the body together, putting on the access panels, and she's pretty much ready to go. Well, yeah, we've got scratch building to go yet. So I'm going to leave you. Again, thank you so much for watching what I'm doing here. Thank you for all your comments and feedback. It's been really pleasant. Come and join me for part number 4. Got it right this time. And I look forward to seeing you then. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.